Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to my friends on LinkedIn and on YouTube. I am just going to connect our Facebook group to this stream. If you can just be patient with me 1 second, we will get this up and going. I hope you all are having a great week. Here we go. All right. Okay. Just connecting my streaming software here. Facebook has made it a little bit more difficult for us to stream into Facebook groups. Okay, here we go. All right. I think it looks like we're ready to go. Here we are. And we are now welcoming our Facebook group friends. If you are not already a member of our private Facebook group, please join us at Scale Your Nutrition Practice, which is a private Facebook group for our members, but also our greater community of health and wellness professionals who really practice in the space of food as medicine. Great, here we go. It looks like we're live. All right, you can hear me now, just doing our little tech check here. All right, today is our Q&A session. I think it is our second for February. We run these Q&A office hours twice per month. And then on the third week, one of the off weeks, we host a live strategy call for our members, which is a little bit more in depth, and it is also a Zoom call. So you have opportunities to ask us questions. So if you are a member, make sure that you're watching out for that calendar. All of the dates are posted in the Facebook group. So please join Scale Your Nutrition Practice, and from there you'll be able to connect with us in a variety of ways. So today our Q&A office hour is all about nurturing leads into sales. We serve thousands of health and wellness professionals. And what we notice around this, this space of nurturing leads to sales or, converting people into paying clients is that sometimes it can feel a little icky to us, a little salesy, and we really struggle with making that conversion to paying clients. So if this sounds familiar to you, if you've ever kind of felt that way, you are in the right place today. So thank you for joining us. Oh, Eileen and D. Lorraine, thank you for joining us. Hillary is on with us now from our team. Hillary, if you could just give me a wave in comments so that everybody can see that you're here. Hillary will be dropping some links for you, and also making sure that you can see and hear me. Okay. All right. How are we doing, Hillary? We're good? Okay, perfect. So before our Q&A office hour sessions, we poll our Facebook group to understand really what they want to learn around this topic. Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm so sorry. Rewind a little bit. I'm Jeanne Petrucci. I'm a registered dietitian and your colleague who is here to support you with all of the tools and the strategies that you need to grow your practice without burning out. My team is joining us today. Jen is on, Hillary is on, Molly is over at YouTube and LinkedIn, and we're kind of watching all the spaces. So if you have any questions as we go through these kind of key touch points today, make sure that you drop a comment, drop a question, and we'll do our best to get back to you. So back to our Q&A office hour. Our group really highlighted some key things that they wanted covered in today's call. Number one, what are the key touch points that you need? So when I say touch point, I mean an email or a discovery call or social media that moves people towards a sale. So it is highly unlikely that somebody is going to meet you for the first time in whatever space that is and buy from you right away or sign up for your consultation session right away or buy your course. That rarely happens. You need to nurture them and move them along. So what are the different ways that you can reach out to them and nurture them to a paying client, a conversion, right? So we're going to cover that. Number two, how to position your offer in a way that feels natural and aligned with your brand. This key point that we're going to talk about was transformative in my business because it helped me understand how to present what I'm offering without feeling icky, without feeling salesy, because that it just doesn't feel good to anybody, right? And so we're going to help you today to kind of work through that so that it feels natural and that you feel aligned with your brand and what your offer is. And then lastly, we're going to cover best tools and automations to help you streamline your sales process. Okay, so we have some people chiming in here. Karen, this is actually, okay. Karen has been gearing up for this all week. Thank you, Karen. Good. I'm glad. We will not disappoint. We'll try and deliver as much support to you as possible. Okay, so those are the three things we're going to cover. The key touch points that you need to have with your clients, a way to position your offer so that it doesn't feel icky, and then best tools and automations for conversion. Before we dive in, I want to let you know that if you're ready to simplify content creation, nurture leads more effectively, and build a profitable nutrition practice, I'll be sharing an opportunity at the end of this Q&A office hour with you. So stick around to learn how you can access all the done-for-you content and resources, meal planning tools, and coaching that you need to grow faster without burning out. All right, so let's get started. Our first question, what touch points, such as emails, discovery calls, social media, do I need to move leads towards a sale? This is a great question. Lead nurturing isn't about one magical message. It is not about putting one really great post on social media and have conversions happen. It's about consistent touch points that build trust over time. And really what I'm talking about here is a sales cycle. Every practice is different. And people often ask me, like, what is your sales cycle? Like, how long does it take between when somebody comes into your sales funnel to the time they convert? I don't have one answer to that question. It's like, for us, it is all over the place. And it really does depend, I would say, largely on the message that's being delivered at that time, that point in time, and how much it's resonating with the person hearing it. If my message lands with, just for example, a registered dietitian who is already in so much pain because they can't grow their practice because they're so busy creating content, that sales cycle is going to be a lot quicker than potentially somebody who is just starting a private practice because they haven't felt the pain yet. Now, for me, that's a person I want to help urgently because I don't want them to feel the pain. But again, sometimes people need to feel like, oh, wow, this really is a lot. Like, I can't create all the tools and all the resources that my clients need and serve them at the same time. So again, it will depend on their readiness and kind of their stage of awareness, which we've already talked about in one other event. So just understand that there's not going to be a magical number like, oh, my sales cycle is, 2 weeks, 3 months. It's probably going to be a little bit all over the place. But the more consistent you are with showing up for people who are already in your funnel, the quicker your sales cycle is going to be. If you're only sending them an email once a month and that's it, and maybe a couple of posts on social media, you can expect a very long sales cycle. And a lot of people are going to drop off before they opt in with you. So really just understand it is a cycle, and the more you pay attention to it, the better you're going to do. And so what I want to share with you now is the lead nurturing framework, because the lead nurturing framework is going to illustrate these touch points kind of that you have to have in place. I have said it in every live event that I've ever done that there are 3 things that you need to do in your practice. You need to attract clients, your ideal clients. You need to serve them with immense value, and you need to retain them. Right? You need to attract, serve, and retain. If you are not doing all 3 of those things, you're likely not going to have a profitable or even a sustainable practice, right? So today we are really focusing on that, after that initial connection, what happens? So the serving part. You are going to hear me use that word service and serving over and over again today because it is so important. And it's so cool because we are service-oriented people. So it should resonate with you what we're going to be talking about today. All of these things are things that you are doing to serve your ideal clients, and you're going to be serving them with immense value. So number 1 in kind of a lead nurturing framework, and you can follow this, is initial connection. Is the initial connection with your lead on social media? Maybe it could be a like, it could be a comment, which or a save, like any one of those three, not totally valuable to you unless you want to be an influencer on social media. The highest value engagement on social media is going to be a DM automation. We're going to talk about tools in a little bit too for that. DM automations are game changing for social media. So even if you're posting 3 high value social media posts per week, if you have a DM automation where you're getting 1 or 2 leads, now a lead is going to look like an email, right? They're giving you an email for whatever value you're offering. So you need to offer some value, something of high value, so that they give you their email in the DM automation, and then it's delivered automatically. So no work for you. It's really simple, but that's the best kind of initial connection that you can make on social media. Also, offering a free resource. So something like grab my free guide on reducing inflammation with nutrition. Grab my free guide on improving fertility with nutrition. Grab my free guide, like whatever your ideal customer avatar, whatever interests they have, or whatever pain you're trying to solve. That free resource needs to be a quick win for them, and it needs to solve a very specific pain point, right? So you could do something like grab my recipe pack for high protein breakfasts if you're on a GLP-1, right? So have high value, quick win, they get it, and they can act on it right away. So those are always the best free resources that you can offer. And then also under this first stage of initial connection, invite them to join your email list for some exclusive content. Now, join my newsletter, join my email list. Like that is a pop-up that has been around for as long as websites, I think, have been around. And, it's okay. Like it's kind of like, an email series or a newsletter. Like give me some value first and then add me to your email list. So you can join the email list, like have a pop-up and say, get your, free recipe pack and join my email list to get more recipes every week or every month, something like that. So when I say, invite somebody to your email list, if you have a pop-up on your website that says, join my email list or join my newsletter, change that tomorrow. Deliver some higher value content there so that your chances of getting that email are higher than somebody just joining an email list. Oh, Hillary is just saying, hi, Noreen, Vandana, Julie, great to see you guys. Please drop questions in the comment section if you have any as we work through. All right, so we're still on question number 1. We're covering all the touch points. Initial connection, we talked about as number 1 piece of this framework, right? So we gave you some touch points there. Number 2, follow up and education category. Something like an email sequence. Now, once somebody is a lead, it means that you have their email address. That is basically defining the lead. They've given you their email address, and now they are kind of a warm lead. If they've opted into a challenge that you offered, like a free challenge, they're not a warm lead. They're a hot lead, because downloading a handout or downloading a guide and committing to a challenge, they're 2 different levels of commitment, right? So the more commitment that lead is making, the hotter that lead is going to be. So putting them into an email sequence is like the first thing that you should do. You should have an automated email sequence for all of your leads. Now, you can get fancy with it. You can have different email sequences for different kinds of leads. Like if they opt into a free challenge, you are going to have a separate email sequence to either deliver that challenge or just to have language, have a conversation around that challenge and the benefits of that. But then you're also going to have like a general email sequence. So I'm going to give you an example of an email sequence that I have that starts with a trigger of a DM automation. DM automation, somebody gives me their email, I give them a free download. They immediately get pushed into my Instagram, Facebook automation email sequence where I continue to deliver more value, right? So they opted into the handout or the ebook, but then, oh, she just gave me this, she just gave me that. Like, and what you're trying to build up to here is for that person to say, wow, if they're giving me all of this content for free, imagine what it's going to be like when I engage them in a paid service, right? So don't ever be afraid that you're giving away too much. Like you don't want to give away an entire course, and you don't want to, send them, 15 handouts per week. Like be a little conservative about it. But, value isn't always about quantity. It's about quality too. So the more that your content speaks to your ideal customer avatar's pain points, the better it's going to work. So an email sequence could look something like this. So email number one, this would be like a general kind of email sequence. So somebody opts in on your website, they download a handout, right? They get pushed into an email sequence where number one, you introduce yourself and provide a helpful tip that is relevant to them. Number two, and you're not introducing all of your products and services yet, right? Like this is first date territory. So who are you? Like how can you help me? And then help me, like give me something, right? Number two, highlight a client success story. So that would be email number two. That's always great for social proof. And you want to select a client success story that you know will resonate with the person on the other end of that email. So it has to be very specific to your ideal customer avatar. Email number three, address a common objection. I love this. Like, I don't have time to focus on my nutrition. You know, yes, I want to manage my hormones. I want to stabilize my hormones, or I want to lose weight, but I just don't have time to like follow a meal plan or cook. Like there's a lot of objections in there, right? And usually it's around behavior, like they don't know how to cook. It's around confidence, lack of time, lack of money, a lot of things. There are plenty of objections that you can address in this email. So think you don't have time to cook a healthy dinner or high protein breakfasts? Boom, provide the solution, right? So address a common objection, follow that in that same email with the solution. I can help you with that. Email number four, then you invite them to take the next step. This is the second date, right? It's not to sell your product. It is to, what is the next step? Book a call. Book a call, or if you have a low-level program, a low-level entry program that you can offer, you can do that too. Oh, hi, Kristen. Good to see you. Stephanie, great to see you guys. All right. Now we're still on the follow-up and education piece, right? Social media engagement. Post some educational content and answer like FAQs. You could also host Q&As, kind of like this one. I haven't done one on Instagram and Facebook. I do it in our private Facebook group, but I haven't done one publicly in a while. But if you are direct to consumer, B2C, like that's a great thing to do. Do live Q&As, just hop on in stories, hop on in Facebook, or in Instagram in your feed and go live answering some Q&As. Now, for me, when I first started doing that, when I was seeing patients, it was like kind of the beginning of kind of social media in nutrition practice, and made me a little nervous because I'm like, what if nobody shows up? What if nobody asks me a question? Well, there's a solution for that. Number one, you always talk. Like if there was nobody here with me today, I would be speaking the same way. You always speak like you're speaking to an auditorium or a stadium filled with your ideal customer avatar, because videos, especially on social media, will live on. Now, Facebook and Instagram just announced that live videos are only lasting 30 days, but that's okay. Like just maybe every 30 days at the least, do some type of a live event to keep it fresh. So speak like you're speaking to an audience of thousands, and go in prepared with common questions that you get in your practice. Say, oh, we have a question about this, and then answer that question on the live. It doesn't actually have to be a live question coming in. But, once you do your first one for, again, this phase of providing some education to your leads, then you'll start getting more comfortable with it. Hi, Becky, welcome. Oh, Heidi says she hasn't, but will. Terrific. All right. Number three now, we're still on what touch points to help move leads towards sales. So we had reminder for those of you just joining us. We had initial connection, follow-up and education, and now we're going to have a personalized outreach and actual conversion. Like this is where the magic happens. Personally, I can tell you that I have shifted my focus from once I get leads to the point where we're ready to have a conversation about membership for Living Plate RX. I'm like, hop on a call. Like that is where my best conversions happen, because that's where I can share what my irresistible offer is. And we're going to talk about what an irresistible offer is for you next. But that's worked magic for me. And it takes a little bit of the pressure off to say, on paper, buy now, right? Or click here and buy now. We're not a high ticket item, but we're not $20 either, right? So to respect that, if you have a higher ticket item, offering discovery calls are amazing. So personalized outreach and conversion. So you can send a DM or an email saying that somebody has downloaded the free guide. How's it going? Did you enjoy that? And then follow that up with kind of a low risk. I even say when I'm responding to people that this is not like a salesy, pushy call. Like it's just colleague to colleague. Let's talk about if my services align with what your needs are right now. Like very, like not intimidating. Yeah, the canned responses sometimes, I'm sure all of you have gotten in DMs, are icky, right? So you know what I'm talking about. Like, hey, I've got this great new thing, right? You know, go over here and check it out. No, get on a conversation with me and let's talk about it. I do not think discovery calls are dead. I think actually exactly the opposite. They're well worth your time for converting to paid clients. And then when they're ready, make the offer or book a discovery call. You know, you are going to have some people reaching out to you saying, this is amazing. Like, how do I sign up? I would say for this particular point of conversion, right? For converting people, converting leads, you know, you can make the offer and immediately follow that up with a barrier busting technique, which is reduce their risk. So sure, you can sign up now. It's free to explore for 30 days. If you, at the end of 30 days, this is not something that delivered the way that I said that it would, I'll give you your money back. So a money back guarantee is a really, really great strategy if you're going to be making that offer. You don't necessarily need to do that if you're going to say, just book the discovery call, right? So have a link ready for somebody to book a discovery call. You can send it in DMs, you can send it in emails, and then that is where you have the deeper conversation. So your action step for this question number 1, which was, what are the touch points, you know, for converting your leads into paying clients, is to review your lead nurturing process. Are you using all 3 phases? If not, what I want you to do is identify which one needs improvement and make a plan to either improve it or add it in. Maybe you're even missing a step. So the 3 steps are that initial connection, grab your lead, follow up, provide education. Again, email sequences are great for that. You could also do some type of social media engagement, and then personalized outreach and conversion. That's really where you're making the offer and or booking that discovery call so that you can make the offer. All right. Any questions on question number 1? Because we are, hi, Cindy, welcome. Hi, Karen. All right, we're going to move on now to question number 2, which, and this, I love this question. So how do you position your offer in a way that feels natural and not salesy? You know, this is just so important for us because we're not salespeople. Like, we just want to help, right? We're in the business of serving people. Selling should not feel pushy. It should feel like a natural extension of how you help people. Selling is helping. Helping is selling. Like, it's all the same. The best way that I can help you, Jeanne Petrucci, as the founder of Living Plate RX, is for you to engage in my membership. That's how I can help you the best, is by you engaging in my paid program. It works no differently for you. Your offer, you know, your paid programs are the best way that you're going to be able to serve people. Now, having said that, you need to make sure that you can stand behind that, right? So you need to make sure that your program is robust and that it is this irresistible offer that, you know, is landing to solve the problems of your ideal customer avatar. And then it'll feel kind of natural. If you have an irresistible offer, honestly, it's going to be easy. So an irresistible offer has very little to do with price. Sometimes people think it's about price. It's not. If it were about price, it's like a total race to the bottom, right? So, you know, here's my irresistible offer. It's only $49 or $29 or $400, whatever. Like, that's rarely comes into play here. It's about the value that you bring in solving your ideal customer avatar's problem. Now, for me, I know the value of the problem that I solve because I had that problem. So it's a little bit easier for you, like kind of in the selling process. If you've had that problem before and you solved it for yourself or a close family member, then you know, right? You know how valuable your program is. And that's what you have to stand behind. And you should not be shy about that. So if you don't have 100% confidence about your ability to get someone a transformation, then it's not going to feel natural. It's not going to feel right. And also, if you haven't identified your ideal customer avatar and your niche really specifically, it's also not going to feel natural because you're trying to solve too many problems for too many people, right? That's where having this ideal customer avatar and niche development, which we've been helping you with all through the month of January and part of February with, like that's where you can actually build and make, build an offer so that it is irresistible, so that you feel like this is how I can help you. This is the best way that I can help you. And this is what it looks like. It's a 3-month program. It's, X amount of dollars. It's $100, $99 per month for a 3-month commitment. And I'll get you where you need to be. You need to be confident in saying that. So if you need to do some work on, who you're serving first, and then you can work up to what problem am I going to solve for them, and how am I going to solve that? Kind of do that work first. And again, it'll be really, really easy. So number one, around this idea of not feeling salesy, shift your mindset, which I just did that whole dump on you right now. So, sales is helping people make a decision that's in their best interest. But it's not making a decision. You're not helping people so that you can make money. I mean, obviously you need to make money to have a successful practice, but you're really helping people along to make a decision that working with you is their best shot at getting the transformation that they want. And understand that last decision that they make with you to opt into your paid program should not be the first decision that they make with you, right? The first decision that they make with you is, I'm going to give you my email address. I'm going to read this email. I'm going to schedule a discovery call. Those are all what we call micro decisions that they're making, so that when it comes to you making their offer, they're a little bit more comfortable saying yes, because they've already said yes to a bunch of other little things. So think about, the part of that nurturing part of your funnel and how you're going to serve people. The more you serve them, the more value you deliver, the more times you ask them to opt into all of these little different things, like your Q&A on Facebook, right? Then it ratchets it up a bit for them. The stakes get a little bit higher for them if they don't opt in with you, right? Those negative stakes get a little bit higher for them. So shift your mindset around that a little bit. If your program and your counseling and you can truly help them solve a problem, it's your responsibility to tell them about it, right? You have an expertise in a particular area. There are millions of people who need help solving that particular problem. It is your responsibility to help them solve that problem, right? And so it's truly just an exchange of value. Your time is valuable, your expertise is valuable, but the transformation that these people are going to get is life-changing. But you need to make sure that the transformation is something that you actually can help them achieve, right? Just better nutrition isn't going to cut it. Really dial in to your ICA and your niche and their pain points. Okay, so again, we're still on the second question of like feeling authentic and aligned and not feeling salesy, right? So number one, shift your mindset. Number two is use a problem solution framework. We have covered this a lot for our members in the January and February events that we're hosting, right? So really dialing in to, like, instead of saying, sign up for my coaching program, so what, right? Give something the so what test, right? So if you're going to say to somebody, sign up for my coaching program, I have all of these different things I have meal plans, I have this, so what? Like, what's in it for me? That is what your potential clients, your leads are thinking of, like, what is in it for me? So this is an example of a problem solution framework. Instead of saying, sign up for my coaching program because it's so great, I'm sure it is, but that's not how you sell it, right? If you've been struggling with gut health and want a clear step-by-step program, my 12-week program is designed to help you heal your gut and regain your energy. Really dialed into you in that one statement, you already know what kind of RD I am and who I serve. And you can get even more specific there. You could be addressing gut health for athletes, gut health for women in menopause. Like, it can get really, you can really get in the weeds there. And the more in the weeds you get, the better, actually. Okay, number three, incorporate social proof into your into your sales pitch, right? Your serving pitch. Let's call it a serving pitch. Share success stories, because again, the more that your lead can see themselves in people that you've already served and already had success with, it just helps them, move along that decision-making process a little bit easier. So this would be an example of social proof. So, and this could be delivered in an email. It can be delivered on social media. You can tell them about it in a discovery call. Like, I saw a client, a few months ago who was pretty much just in your situation. She came to me exhausted and bloated every day. And after 6 weeks of my program, she had more energy than she'd had in years. So, that is the way that you can use social proof to help you with converting. Number 4, make the next step working with you clear and simple. So sometimes when we kind of get to the end, it used to happen to me in webinars a lot. When I was like selling at the end of a webinar, I'd kind of rush and get high pitched because I'd get nervous because I didn't want to be salesy and pushy. Like, settle in. You're not being pushy. You're not being salesy. You're serving. You're helping. So the next step should be clear and it should be simple. You should lay it out for them. This is the best way that I've helped people like you before. After everything that you've told me, this is how I can help you. This is what the next steps look like. And so instead of saying, let me know if you're interested, that's not going to work. That's very passive. Say, either if it's in a discovery call, have that link ready for them to get started in the program. Or if you're doing something more passive, like on social media or during a live event, drop a link. Say, click here to book a free consult so that we can see if we're a good fit for you. That's what I'm going to be doing at the end of this call, right? It's a little meta. Okay, so action steps for you for this question of like not feeling salesy. Review your sales messaging. Does it focus on the transformation your program provides? Not your program. Does it focus on the transformation? If not, tweak it to highlight the problem, the solution, and the results that you're going to deliver. For those of you who had joined the strategy call with Molly on the brand messaging blueprint, it's all there. It's all there. So if you are a member, go into your library, go to your strategy sessions section in the Learn section of the library, and follow that messaging blueprint. Molly delivers it. It will not take you long. It took me maybe 30 minutes to complete the whole thing. And at the end, I got very clear language and messaging around the problems, solutions, and the results that I deliver for my clients. Okay, so make sure that you do that. That's your action step for this question. All right, last question we're going to cover is question number 3. What automations or tools can help streamline the lead conversion process, right? So clearly at the top of your funnel, you need some type of lead capturing tool. You need forms, you need an email service provider, DM automation. So you need all of that. But what other kinds of tools can help you kind of in that serving part of your funnel? So here are a few, and honestly, like there are so many great options out there now. And what I love about this area of technology and automation for our members is that it's now gone to the point where it's much less expensive than it was 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. I used Active Campaigns for a long time. I was paying an extraordinary sum of money every month because as your email list grows, you have to pay more. I have now switched over to String Connect and I save thousands of dollars every month, right? So there are tools that are now consolidating. String Connect is our preferred one. That's the one that we work very closely with their founder, Stephanie Hoffenke, to support our members. So that is a way where you can consolidate a lot of the tools that I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to be talking about these tools. You'll either need to create a tech stack, right? So you're going to have tech for each one of these tools, or you can do kind of these all-in-one solutions. So number 1, email sequences. You will set up nurturing sequences using tools like String Connect, but you could also use something like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp. Or there's plenty others like Flowdesk. There's a bunch of other email things, but String Connect does do email sequences as well. Email sequences allow you to deliver a consistent message because everybody's seeing the same thing at the same time when they come into your funnel, and it takes the work off your plate. It's automated. So all you have to do is focus on delivering the value, and then the automation will take care of it. Oh, hi, Karen is saying she loves String Connect. So do I. I'm obsessed. Okay, lead capture forms. You can use things like Google Forms. That's what I used to do when I did Instagram live events during COVID. I would say, hey, if you want this recipe, drop a note here and I'll send you I'll DM you, just comment recipe, and I'll DM you the recipe. But it was like a link. It was a Google link to a Google form that they would, and I had to build like this automation through Zap. Honestly, all the hoops that I had to jump through, that actually served me pretty well because I understand the technology really well now, but it was painful. It was painful. We had to get the Google form, create a spreadsheet. Everybody who came into the spreadsheet got zapped to my email service. Then they got pushed into an automation. It was just a lot. Now it's not like that anymore. It's so much easier, but you can use Google Forms if you want. Typeform is another option, and String Connect, of course. I think that some email service providers also, for higher level of service, they will allow you to do a lead capture form. As a reminder, a lead capture form is a page that you create. It's a URL that you create that allows somebody to put their name and email in, their first name, last name, and email in. I also collect a phone number as an optional, but most people actually do enter their phone number. So that is a lead capture form. That's where you're capturing the email in exchange for value. Then a CRM. So CRM is customer relationship management tools that help you. These CRMs start consolidating a lot of what we've already talked about, right? So String Connect is a CRM where you can not only have leads coming into your universe and you can nurture them, but you can also kind of measure activities. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing when they're in my funnel? It helps you understand the sales cycle a little bit better. And then lastly here, social media scheduling tool. So plan and automate posts with things like Later, Metricool, or Planoly. I used Planoly. I use Metricool right now, but I'm also investigating using String Connect because they do offer that too. But I've been using Metricool for a long time and really enjoy it because it allows me to batch create my social media. I can see it, and then sometimes it gets automatically pushed out. Although I will just say, if you need to add trending audio, you can't have an auto post. So you actually have to post it from your phone. But because the app is available, hold on one second. Looks like I'm frozen here. Can you guys still hear me? Hillary, can you still hear me? I want to make sure that we're still, yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Sorry, I froze on my phone a little bit here. Okay, so social media scheduling, that was the last piece of the some of the automation strategies here. So your action step here is, if you don't have any automations in place, start with a simple email sequence. So even if you opt into String Connect, which is, in my opinion, the most cost-effective way to start using all of these tools, don't start using all of these tools. Just pick one and start. So if you haven't built an email sequence already, that is your first step, is to build an email sequence. Now, if you're a member, I give you email sequences that you can use. So it's truly, I'm going to take the email sequence from Living Plate RX. I'm going to put it into ChatGPT and work with ChatGPT to help me make it relevant to my ideal customer avatar. And then I'm going to copy and paste it into my email sequence. It really can be that simple. And adding call to action buttons, also really, really easy. I would say one other thing that could be super high value right from the get-go is start taking advantage of the DM automation in something like String Connect, or you can use ManyChat if you're doing it more of a tech stack. DM automation just makes your activity on social media more productive for you. And that's the idea. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, great. Thank you guys for hanging in with me. My video froze for a little bit. All right. So I want you to listen carefully here, because I'm going to be closing the call here, but this is a good example of how to move people along your kind of selling process and nurturing leads, really showing up for people and communicating with them how you can serve them. So this is my call to action for Q&As almost every time. So thank you, by the way, so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate all of you showing up and taking advantage of these Q&A office hours. They have proven to be really effective for us to support our community. And as a result, again, the more effective we are serving you, the better our sales growth is going to be, because we continue to show up for our community. So I just want you to understand that nurturing leads, like in your sales funnel, it doesn't have to be complicated. You can start simply, but you do need the content. You need content, and you need strategies, and you need tools, and you need support to kind of make this whole thing run. And what I want you to know is that you don't have to do it alone. My team and I can help you simplify your content creation process so that you can spend less time creating the content, which is not revenue generating, by the way. So every email you write, every blog post you write, every social media post you have to craft from scratch, every recipe, like that is non-revenue generating time. We give you all of that time back so that you can spend time serving your clients. That is where revenue generation happens, and that's the only way that you're going to grow. So when you become a member of our community, you get access to done-for-you evidence-based content. You actually license our evidence-based content, and you get to call it your own. You do not need to carry our trademark. You do not need to acknowledge us. You are paying for a license to call all of this content your own. So mountains and mountains of evidence-based content on all topics for you. We also have best in the business meal planning tool. So we have meal planning software that is part of the membership so that you can support your clients and really elevate that client experience. I'm fairly certain if I asked all of you to raise your hand right now, for every time somebody asked you for a meal plan, like we'd have thousands of hand raises right now, right? It's one of the first things people ask for, which is interesting because most people don't need a meal plan necessarily. They just need resources, right? But they come in wanting a meal plan. So we help you really add value right from the get-go. So you have meal planning software, thousands of recipes, lots of great tools, including a dietary assessment tool there as well. And then we support you with coaching and training. So we do these Q&A office hour calls as a free service, right? Just to offer value to potential clients, current clients, really just to our entire community, just to show them that we do show up for them and provide them with support with growing their practices without burning out, right? Like that's the whole idea. That's the biggest pain point of all, right? Like the burnout, which is what I had. We prevent that, right? We take you out of the panic and anxiety zone and give you all the tools that you need to help you grow your practice. So if you are not a member yet and you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed with content creation so that you can focus on really what you got in the business of doing, which is helping people improve their health with food, then I'd love to invite you to a demo call. So we're going to drop in all of our channels, so on YouTube, LinkedIn, and also here in the Facebook group. Now, if you're in our Facebook group, only use this link if you're not a member. If you're a member, you don't need a discovery call, right? If you're a member, use the chat widget on the website to reach out to us, and we can support you there. If you're a member, sign up for the strategy call. Our next strategy call is coming up, and you can sign up inside of the library. So click on the link here that Hillary just dropped if you are not a member and you want to hop on a call. And again, no pressure. We're just going to talk, and I'll take you through the library, some meal planning functions, and you'll be able to see if it's going to help you meet your goals or not, right? So no pressure. During the call, I'm going to show you how you're going to save hours. We had surveyed our group maybe 2 years ago, and it was pretty consistent. Like everybody said, they used to spend between 5 and 10 hours per week creating content. So that's the handouts, the meal plans, things like cooking videos you probably weren't creating, but you have access to that too. Writing blog posts, emails, like you just get all that time back. So with our ready to use content. We also support you with attracting the right clients, right? So all the content in the world is not going to help you grow your practice unless you use it strategically. I'm going to repeat that because I think it happens a lot where people are in so much pain that they come to Living Plate and they're like, oh, finally, I don't have to create all this content anymore. Yes, and that's great. We're going to give you all of those hours back. But if you don't dive in and use that content strategically, you're not going to get the most out of it. So know that we're here to support you with marketing and business strategies as well. And then, of course, we're going to support you with converting leads into paying clients without feeling salesy. I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel good. Once you get to that spot where it feels good to share your program and your paid programs, you're going to be on fire. So, just imagine if you could, just imagine in your practice having a team of registered dietitians and marketing and business experts like in your back office, right? There to help you whenever you need with the content, with the strategies, with the coaching. We're there for you. And that's what I'm going to show you in this discovery call. All right. So make sure that you click that link below to join me on a discovery call and we'll chat. Are there any other questions? Oh, wow. So Robin, we have questions and comments. So why don't we turn to that right now? Robin is saying, I just joined in the last week and there is so much valuable content. Thank you for saying that, Robin. And now I'm going to encourage you to dive into the strategy as well and make sure that you can you're never going to use all the content in our library. It's too big. There's too much. And it's not appropriate for everybody's ideal customer avatar. But I want you to focus on some of that higher value content that gives your ideal clients and your leads a quick win, right? And that can help you with your conversion strategy. Hillary is saying, golden nugget, generating content isn't revenue. Generating content isn't revenue. LPRX helps you by supporting you with all the content, right? Okay, thank you, Hillary, for that. Yeah, just putting out content, posting on social media and sending out emails, that's not going to generate revenue. What's going to generate revenue is the strategy that you use that content, that you fulfill your funnel with that content in a strategic way. That works. Oh, Elisa, thank you for being here. D. Lorraine is saying, where should I sign up for questions about membership? D. Lorraine, join a discovery call. So we just dropped the link. It's called a demo call. Where I will walk you through Living Plate RX and we can show you what that looks like for your practice. All right, everybody good? Give me a thumbs up if you got one nugget from today. One nugget. That's all that I want is for everybody to get at least one nugget out of today. Give me a thumbs up in the comments, please. And by me asking you to comment, and by me asking you to do a thumbs up in the comment, guess what that is? That is a micro decision, right? That is your decision to engage with me on a deeper level. So you could be sitting back, having your lunch, hopefully, or a cup of tea, listening to me, and that's great. But the second somebody types something to you, that is engagement, and that is a micro decision. So when you're doing your live event, very similar to what I'm doing now, you can ask for simple engagement. If you're doing a recipe demo, one of my favorite things to do was dropping food emojis. So if I was cooking something with avocado, I'd say, drop an avocado if you're going to make this recipe this week, right? And then we'd see a whole bunch of avocados getting dropped. Those are micro decisions. And so make sure that you're thinking about that kind of as part of your strategy if you're going to be using the live as a lead generator and a nurturing tool. All right, looks like we're good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I'm excited to be heading into New York to spend a glorious weekend with colleagues at the Integrative Healthcare Symposium, hosting a dinner tonight, and just really excited to see everybody there. When you get 25 RDs in a restaurant, watch out. I hope they gave us a private room because we're going to be super chatty. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Make sure you join our private Facebook group. If you haven't already, so that you don't miss notifications of these events. Scale Your Nutrition Practice is where that's at. And also, if you'd like a walkthrough of Living Plate RX, join a discovery call or a demo call. The link is in the comments. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.